In today's video, you're going to hear stories about people who got rich in unusual ways. And at the end, we'll reflect on what we can learn from each of them. Let's dive in. 1. The man who struck gold by walking. Back in 1980, Kevin Hillier was just an ordinary guy from Victoria, Australia, who took up metal detecting as a simple hobby. One day, while he was wandering through a field, he stumbled upon something massive. It was the Hand of Faith, a solid gold nugget weighing a staggering 61 pounds. In 1981, Kevin ended up selling it in Las Vegas for over $1 million. Just like that, a weekend hobby turned into a life-changing windfall. 2. The toy that crawled up the wall. In the 80s, an inventor named Ken Hakuda imported and patented it for $5,000, these weird, sticky toy octopuses from Japan. He called them wacky wall walkers. You probably remember them. You'd slap them on a wall and watch them walk down. It was a total fad. It exploded everywhere. In the first year alone, 200 million wacky walkers were sold, bringing in about $20 million in profit. And Hakuda walked away with millions from a toy that cost almost nothing to make.
Who could have guessed that that would have taken off the way it did?
That's right. You look very silly doing it, right? And but you never know what's going to catch. And the great thing about fad ideas is that everybody has these wacky ideas, but they don't know how to launch it on the public.
3. The woman who sold a broken website. Then we have Julie Dean. The year was 2008. She was a British housewife who built a basic site to sell colorful bags from her kitchen table. Now, the site was, let's be honest, it was ugly. It was slow, outdated, and kind of a mess. But instead of fixing it, Julie just left it alone. And strangely enough, customers trusted it more because it looked real and not like some giant faceless corporation. The orders started piling up, and that little project became the Cambridge Satchel Company. Years later, she sold a huge stake for tens of millions of dollars. Her secret? Not optimizing the soul out of her business.
12 years ago, I started Cambridge Satchel with £600. Within 5 years, it was worth £40 million.
4. The man who got rich selling lost golf balls. In the 90s, a former professional golfer named Gary Kruger noticed something everyone else was literally walking past. Golf courses lose millions of golf balls every year. Instead of seeing trash, he saw untapped inventory. He started by collecting lost balls from courses and waterways, cleaning and sorting them by quality, and selling them. He founded the company PG Professional Golf, whose motto was, "All golf balls are used after one hit." By 2026, they reached the incredible milestone of having sold nearly 1 billion golf balls, with annual revenue estimated at around $30 million. No new product, no new technology, just value hiding in plain sight, until someone decided to collect it.
In 1992, David and I started this business in a 1,200 square foot building, and we have done everything from wash golf balls to sort golf balls and package them ourselves.
5. The man who got rich with photos. Yuri Arkurs was just a young guy from Denmark with a camera. He didn't have big clients or some artistic vision to change the world. He just saw a gap in the market. Stock photo sites were blowing up, and companies didn't want art. They wanted usable, generic images. Smiling people, handshakes, offices, the boring stuff. Most photographers hated that, but Yuri leaned into it. He treated photography like a factory, uploading tens of thousands of images. At his peak, he was selling millions of photos across platforms like Shutterstock. In 2012, it's estimated he made over $10 million.
Statistically, Yuri Arkurs sells the rights to a work of his every 8 seconds.
6. The man who got rich from snail slime. In the 1980s, a Chilean entrepreneur named Fernando Bascuñan was running a business exporting snails to the French food market. He noticed something strange. The workers who handled the snails all day had unusually soft, smooth hands, and their cuts healed incredibly fast. So he shifted his focus from the culinary market to skincare and developed a skin cream made from snail secretion and named it Elicina. The cream proved highly effective, and his company expanded into over 45 countries, becoming a leading brand in the field of regenerative cosmetics. No inheritance, no tech startup, just slime.
Hoy nuestro producto se exporta y se comercializa en más de 45 países, ubicados en América, Oceanía, Europa y Asia.
7. The man who got rich renting toilets. In the early 1950s, George Harding, a California inventor, noticed something odd. Construction sites didn't really have proper bathrooms. Using molded plastic, the same material he worked with in boat building, he came up with the first modern portable toilet. But instead of selling the units, he made a smarter move and decided to rent them. That single decision ended up creating an entire industry. His company eventually became Polyjon, one of the largest portable toilet manufacturers in the world, helping build a market that now generates billions of dollars every year in the United States alone. And Portageon became a generic term used around the world. 8. The woman who sold virtual furniture. In 2006, long before we were talking about the metaverse, Aileen Greff, known as Anchi Chung, was buying and selling virtual land in a game called Second Life. People totally mocked her for it. But she saw that digital ownership was real. She started subdividing virtual land and developing it. By 2006, the creators of the game confirmed she had earned over $1 million in real-world money from digital real estate. She was a millionaire in a world that didn't even physically exist.
Tatsächlich auch Spieler kennengelernt, die sind auch mehr Zeit im Second Life verbracht als im Echtleben.
9. The man who bought garbage rights. In the 60s, Wayne Huizenga looked at something nobody else wanted to touch. Trash, specifically garbage collection contracts. There was no glamour in it, but Wayne didn't care. He consolidated roots, scaled up, and eventually built waste management into a multi-billion-dollar empire. He became a billionaire by owning the one thing everyone else was trying to get rid of.
I'm reading a newspaper article in the paper ad, and it says refuse route for sale, revenue $500 a month, total revenue. And pretty soon it was 5 trucks, 10 trucks, 15 trucks, and
10. The singing fish that became a hit. It all started in 1998. Joe Pelletieri was the vice president of product development at Gemmy Industries, a company already known for novelty items like dancing flowers. During a road trip with his wife, she casually joked, "What if there was a singing fish on a plaque?" Joe immediately loved the idea, especially if the fish sang something completely unexpected like "Take Me to the River." He spent the next year working with engineers and even taxidermists to design a mechanism that made the fish's head suddenly swing forward, turning to face the person while it sang. The product was patented in December 1998 and hit stores in early 1999. The reaction was explosive. By the year 2000, the singing fish had generated over $100 million in sales and became a collector's item. And here's the wildest part. Singer Al Green later said he made more money from the royalties of that fish than from any other recording of his song.
I proposed like 10 items to like the owner of the company, the VP of sales and marketing, the sales guy, and like Billy was like number 7 on the list. It's just coming up with new things. I like newness, and so to create something new and see it sell, it's a pretty satisfying feeling.
11. The woman who cleaned up crime scenes. Finally, we have Laura Spalding. As a former police officer, she realized there was a desperate need for professional cleanup after violent incidents, something the city usually didn't handle. In 2005, she started Spalding Daycon. It was a grim industry that everyone else ignored, but she turned it into a multi-million-dollar franchise.
I was helping these people that really had no means to pay for it, but their homeowner's insurance covered the cleanup, and after I was done with the cleanup, I thought, this is it for me. This is exactly what I want to do.
When we look at all these stories together, a few patterns start to emerge. Some people were already in motion, doing things, and they literally stumbled onto something valuable. The gold guy, the snail slime. Others were simply willing to do the jobs nobody wanted to do. The golf ball guy, the trash guy, the portable toilet business, the woman who cleans up crime scenes. Then there were those who got in early and bet on internet markets no one believed in at the time, like virtual furniture or stock photos. And there were the creative ones who tried a lot of strange ideas, and only one of them finally worked. the singing fish, the plastic octopus. Even Al Green, who you could say got lucky, only managed to get rich because he was already in motion. So, in short, if you want to get rich, you have to be doing things, trying, testing, failing over and over again. Sooner or later, you get it right. And if one of these stories really stuck with you, like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who still thinks money only comes from the obvious places. I'll see you in the next one.